Hey guys, in this video I'm going to review this power station from BLUETTI. It's AC200L version. In this video we're going to do stress load capacity test. We will try to charge this power station with 1.2 kilowatts solar array. If you're interested, let's jump into the video. All specs for this unit here's on the sticker. Model AC200L. For the input, we can charge with 120 volts, 20 amps maximum, and the charging speed is a 2.4 kilowatts maximum. Then from a DC input port, we can charge 20 to 30 volts, 8 amps. So that means we can connect 12 or 24 volts battery and charge up to 8 amps. For PV input, 12 to 145 volts, 15 amp maximum. And for DC input, it's right here. We can do 1.2 kilowatts charging speed with solar. Battery expansion unit is going to be connected to this port right here. It's 51.2 volts, which means it's lithium iron phosphate 16 cells configuration, 60 amps maximum we can draw. For output, it can do AC output 120 volts, 2.4 kilowatts. For aviation sockets, which is that one, we can draw 48 volts, 8 amps. Here's the USB ports. Maximum we can get 100 amps from USB-C. Cigarette lighter or accessory port, 12 volts and amps. Combined output is 2.5 kilowatts, including AC and DC. And here's additional specs, just in case you're interested. Here's the unit in front. Right here we have all output ports. On the left side, input ports. This is accessory port. This is aviation port. Then USB-C, USB-C, two USB-A's. And then we have 4 outlets, 120 volts and one 120 volts 20 amps outlet. On the left side right here we have DC PV input port. That one is for solar. For AC input we have proprietary cable here. We have place to ground power station and the battery expansion unit and circuit protector. On the back side is specs, and on the left side is only ventilation for cooling station down. Power station fully charged, and I'm gonna do capacity test. Going to discharge with 600 watts, and we'll see results in about 3.3 hours. And we got 1886 watt hours. Now I'm going to reverse meter, reset this, and I want to see how many kilowatt hours we need to charge power station from 0 to 100%. And we need 2451 watt hour. For the cables, we're getting AC charging cable. Then we're getting cable. One is, I don't know what is type of connector here, but it's going to DC PV input on the power station. And on the other side, we have a female for XT90 connector. If we want to charge from accessory port, we have this 12 volts accessory port to XT90 connector. And for solar, we have XT90 to 2 MC4 connectors. We're running 2 kilowatts load, and the output is 118 volts. This is 60 Hz, 59.9, and it's pure sine wave. For the stress test, I'm going to use this saw. It's not a big one, but still draw a lot of power. It's 120 volts up to 14 amps. And we don't have any problems running saw and cutting 2x8 lumber. And here's the USB charging test. I'm going to enable USB. And we're charging with 100 watts laptop plus phone. To charge from solar, I'm going to use 3 solar panels. This station can accept 1.2 kilowatts of solar. And right here we have self-have for 30 watt solar panels. So we're going to be a little bit over 1200 watts. But right now is December, mid of December. So we're not going to get full production. And our short circuit current is 1387 amps. And for station is 15 amps. So we should be good. I'm gonna wait till we have full sun on all solar panels, but right now I'm gonna just connect to one solar panel. We'll see how much we're gonna get from one. And we're getting 290 watts from solar panel. It's not ideally right now positioned to the sun. Let me just rotate this a little bit and see if we can squeeze a little bit more. And we're getting 365 watts, and today is December 17. I did move solar panels and all of them are unshaded right now. Let's see what we're getting on power station. 980 watts. It's a good result for this time of year. And from my experience, some power stations struggling to charge from PV and the output to AC power. So I'm just going to test how this power station is going to perform. I'm going to enable AC output, connect heater, set to full power. And we have 1.5 kilowatts consumption with 1 kilowatt production. No problems. And here's the application for power station. On a power flow chart, we can see that we're charging right now with 991 watt from solar panel. Then at the bottom right here, we can enable AC and DC USB. We cannot enable DC or USB separately, it's just one toggle. Then if we go to settings right here, we can select working mode. What is interesting, we can go to customized UPS mode. And then we have state of charge settings, how much we want to discharge station and what is the percentage we want to charge up to. Then we can restrict grid charging. We can set up time of use, and here's a schedule for time of use, which is a great option. I haven't seen this before on power stations, on the smaller ones. Then we have charging mode. We have silent, standard, and turbo mode. Of course, it's going to be speed of charging. Power lifting feature is for higher wattage appliances. I didn't find much details, but looks like if we want to run space heater, we have to enable this mode. Then in eco, we can enable when to shut down the power station. If we have less than 10 watts consumption, it's going to shut down in 4 hours, same for DC. Then we can select when screen is going to go down. For PV input source, we can select if it's PV or maybe like car or something else. I'm going to go back to PV. And then we have information about version for power station. In advanced settings, we can select current we want to charge from grid. Then we can select Pro mode, but I need password to get into this Pro mode, so I don't know what is behind that. We can select what is the frequency output. And here's a grid self-adaptation feature. That one is going to be enabled if we have unstable grid, for example, if we have generator running. And here's all information we can see and control in application. Now I'm going to the load test. Let's run full power at 20 minutes and see how station is going to perform. Alright, so we draw almost 2 kilowatts. Let's come back in about 20 minutes and see how we're doing. And 20 minutes later, we're still running with 2 kilowatts, no problems. And that's all tests I want to perform for this power station. To summarize results, I have only one item for improvements, is LED light. Most likely this power station is going to be on a camping where LED lights in general are really useful. On the positive side, I do like build quality. It feels really solid power station. Then batteries chemistry is lithium iron phosphate. That means we can get anywhere from 2,000 to 4,000 cycles or even more. And we're gonna have 80% of capacity after that. Of course, depends how hard you're gonna use this power station. Then it's great to see that we have application where we can control power station. Also, I haven't seen before time of use settings for this power station, for this size of power station, so it might be really useful, depends on like how you're planning to use this. And it's great to see that we have 1.2 kilowatts solar input. We can recharge this power station from 0 to 100% in less than 2.5 hours. I hope you enjoyed this review. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. And here's the internal components of first layer. To disconnect the front panel, we just need to remove this neutral and line and ground. And then we have two connectors, and sure was that one. It's like a smaller version of XT60 connectors. And looks like this one is not, yeah. So that one was not sitting properly. It has glue, but it was some gap there. Then I'm disconnecting this one. Low voltage and the communication going through this connector, which is sitting on a main board when we install on the screen. All PCB boards are BLUETTI branded. We see the version here, AC200L as well, and this is dated 2023, September 28. And here's another layer of teardown. So the connector, it was a cigarette lighter or accessory port, which was not sitting all the way down. And then we have AC200L here as well. This is BLUETTI brand, so it's all branded by BLUETTI. And here's the AC unit. We have PV input, so my assumption somewhere here is MPPT charge controller. And this is backside. We have one more connector on this corner, and that one is connecting battery management system right there. Between the batteries and the AC unit, we have additional shield. It's a thin copper film on one side and plastic on another side, and as I understand, it's to remove like any electromagnetic noise between battery management system and the inverter. Then right here we have battery cells. It's a lithium iron phosphate 3.2 volts and 4.0 amp hours. Right here we have battery management system, and on this side we have connections for input ports. BLUETTI logo as well. And here's a battery management system. And I guess that's all I can disassemble, because battery is welded, and I don't think we can remove this pack. On this side we have battery negative and battery positive. So if we measure voltage across those terminals, we're gonna get 53.3 volts. And before disassembling battery, I fully charged this pack. And now I'm going to test how well cells are balanced. I did cycle this station a few times and fully charged before disassembling. And I'm going to charge this bank to 57 volts without BMS, and I'm going to measure how much difference between cells we have. Also, it's important to mention right now that we're charging the battery pack without BMS. So we're directly connecting negative or positive to entire pack. So we can easily overcharge the cells. And I'm controlling their voltage to not to exceed 58 volts, because with 58 volts we're gonna have somewhere like 3.6, 3. Maybe 61 volt per cell, and maximum charge is at 365. I'm just gonna wait when we're gonna have about 57 volts and measure cell voltage across entire pack. And we are almost at 57 volts, and I'm going to measure each individual cell, and we shouldn't see, like, all cells should be at about 3.6 volts, and if we see one cell at 3.3 volts, that means we have unbalanced bank. So let's just measure this. Cell number 1. Okay, the highest cell was 365, the lowest 3.5, and this is good result. Whatever is above 345 volts, that means cell almost fully charged. So here's my thoughts about this power station. What is nice to see that cells are matched. On the output board, on the back side, we have a nicely connected 30 amps outlet. It's connected to the base itself. Then we have ferrite coil to remove any noise. For AC outlets, I did have experience with the different power stations. When we push plug hard enough, this plastic piece can detach. I did try it on this power station to push multiple times. I don't see any movements. Maybe like some kind of like bolt holding this board to front cover. Maybe it's like nice improvement. And this connector definitely helping to remove a lot of wires, but I'm not sure if it's beneficial for end user. For temperature control, we have 2 temperature sensors on a battery management system connected to battery pack. And then we have 4 temperature sensors on the main board. One is right there. Then 2 sensors connected to this radiator. And here is the temperature sensor number 4. I did see one minor issue when this connector was not seated properly. For the cooling, it's interesting design. They do have fans installed in the middle of power station. Usually it's like from one side, and this is helping to reduce noise from fans. And the power station is quite heavy, but it's interesting to see that we have a lot of shields. One we have on top of the battery pack, and the second one is installed on top of main board. And I think that's all about this teardown. Now I'm going to assemble the station back. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.